Hi, this is David Fortney.
Elizabeth Bradley.
Hi, and we're here from Fortney Scott, and we want to just take a moment or two and talk about our next Employer Compliance Update Program. This is part of a series that Fortney Scott is presenting, and we're really pleased to be presenting on federal contractor obligations. There's a lot going on in that space.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the highlights we want to talk about?
We're going to begin by talking about OFCCP audit trends, looking at where their compliance efforts have been over a period of 10 years, but really focusing on 2014 so that we know what to expect going into 2015. Looking at some of the recent conciliation agreements that we've been able to obtain copies of, looking at where their numbers are.
Right.
Also looking at what the trends have been in active audits and what you're going to be able to expect. For example, we've seen increased requests for information specifically focused on compensation.
Much more activity on compensation.
Absolutely.
RFIs, interviews, aggressive data collection.
Yes.
And so we want to break that down a little bit and talk about what we're seeing there.
Provide some detailed examples of those kinds of requests that you're going to be able to see.
Right. A lot of activity there. But there's also activity on the regulatory front too.
Correct. There's significant, there's some new and pending regulations that are going to have a significant impact on federal contractors. In our materials, we'll provide a detailed list of those regulations, where they're pending, when they're going to be effective.
Good.
For the purposes of our compliance review, we're going to discuss four of the main ones that we think are sort of hot right now. Beginning with the sex discrimination regulations, which are pending.
Right.
The audit period just closed, so we're anxious to see what the final regulations, whether they respond to any of the comments or not.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the recently effective federal human trafficking regulations. And I think it's really important to know that these are in effect for all federal contractors, not just outside of the United States. There are different obligations, but everybody needs to be aware of those.
I think most federal contractors have not yet come to grips with those human trafficking regulations. So we've got some very important information, very timely, which, as you indicate, they've just gone into effect. 1010 minimum wage, new executive order, new regulations now being rolled out in new contracts issued after January, and how that plays, including with the prevailing wage and some of the other considerations. Not quite as simple as it might seem to put everyone at 1010, as is often the case. And then finally, last but certainly not least, is the blacklisting regulation. That's under the Fair Pay and Safe Workplaces executive order. The regulations are pending within the White House at the Office of Management and Budget. But there are a number of points that we are very concerned about. We want to make sure are on your radar screens so that you understand what these changes are going to mean to you, because they'll be fundamental.
So please join us for our compliance update. You'll be able to have a full audio along with PowerPoint presentation.
Great. We're looking forward to it. Thank
you.